I gave her. You see?
Way too. Did The Rock just solidify himself as the greatest of all time? Now, this ain't to disrespect any other like wrestler out there. I love me some Kurt Angle, some Perk Angle, some some Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, Eddie Guerrero. I mean, there's so many freaking Stone Cold Steve Austin. What? Stone Cold? What? Whoop the Rock's ass? What? There's a lot of wrestlers that I like, but this recent run that The Rock just had was something special to behold, man. This whole final boss character he had, like the freaking build up, like say what you want about, you know, the whole Cody Rhodes and the Roman Reigns and the Bloodline story. That has been like the best story that we've seen in wrestling, but this chapter of it, this part 2 of it, you could say if it didn't have The Rock in it, was kind of dry. The Rock, as soon as he became a part of this story, the whole junk changed into a whole nother thing. And I literally remember when The Rock had first got pushed into the story and it looked like Cody was going to have to take a back seat. Suckers was like, they can't do this to Cody. What about Cody's story? He got to finish his story. And I was like, bro, this would be a perfect time to make this man Rock heel. Because suckers was already booing The Rock. It would just be natural for him to step into that heel form. And I've always felt like The Rock is more entertaining and better as a heel. I was like, oh my God, this would be the perfect chance to bring back like 2003 Hollywood heel Rock. And if they do this junk right, it could be amazing. I remember the suckers was like, they ain't gonna do that. Freaking Rock, he done ruined his image as a heel. I'm like, bro, this is freaking wrestling. This is entertainment. He ain't gonna ruin his freaking image. And man, the build up to The Rock and this final boss character, something like we've never seen before. Because when he had the 2003 run, he was a heel then, but he was a lot more like kind of like goofy, and sometimes he would like look like a coward, like, you know, with the whole Goldberg battle he had in Stone Cold. Like he would like run some of the times and just like attack you from like behind. This final boss character, he was almost like a bully, like evil, power driven. Like I was like, yo, I ain't never really seen a side of The Rock like this. So it made it feel fresh. Again, because The Rock can come out and you know say all his catchphrases and stuff like that, and people are going to sing along with him because he's The Rock. But at some point, it's like, all right, bro, we get it. So it's the fact that he came back, and not only did he come back, he came back and showed people a version of The Rock that a lot of these kids today, and even like adults, are not used to seeing, because it was heel Rock, but heel Rock kind of like we've never seen him before. And it felt like The Rock, like the stuff that he was saying on like the mic, like go home and smoke some more crack. Freaking letting F-bombs go. That's one thing that kind of surprised me, because I'm like, all right, like what are we doing here? Because Rock was like letting F-bombs go kind of like crazy, like saying like the freaking the S word and all this stuff. But did it not make it feel more real, more interesting, more entertaining? It felt like old school wrestling. It felt like that wrestling that we all grew up loving, which has been missing in today's wrestling for quite a while. The beat down of Cody Rhodes backstage when he was like, look at you now, boy, huh? Like, this is all stuff that made this thing feel that much more special, and made it feel like that old wrestling, the behind the stage beatdowns, him bleeding, the build up of this character and the evolution of his entrances. Each time this sucker came out each week, they always added something new to like the entrance. Would be like a different graphic, or he'd have on like a different type of vest, or he would put on the shades. Every single week they was adding something to that something to that entrance. And then I was like, bro, the only thing that they could do to make this jump perfect is bring back that 2003 heel theme. If they do that, the jump was gonna be amazing. And I didn't think that they was going to do it, but then when they finally did it, tell me that wasn't the icing on the cake, the cherry on the freaking top. I don't know if that was his idea. I don't know who told this man, like, yo, this is the direction we gonna go in. I don't know if this was all 100% The Rock's idea. If this was 100% The Rock's idea and just the way his character evolved, you truly a GOAT. You are truly the GOAT. But however that jump went down, I thought was amazing. The perfect version of today's Rock. The Rock that is more successful than he ever has been. And the final boss character, it just fit where he is at this point in his life. I mean, he was so good. You had people saying that The Rock is outshining Roman, Cody, and Seth. Like, all at the same time. Like, this is stuff people were saying. This is how good he was. So, hey, I don't know if this is the best version of The Rock that I've seen, because we've seen so many, and for a longer time frame of like recent, of just runs of The Rock and what character he was in that year, whatever. I don't know if I'm ready to say that this was like the greatest version ever of The Rock, but I will say this is at least a top 3 version of The Rock that I've ever seen in the short, 2 months that he was around, or 2 or 3 a month. This was one of the most entertaining, I felt like most vicious versions of The Rock, and like evil versions of The Rock that, like, I quite frankly have ever seen. Like, this man had my eyes glued to the damn screen. This felt like The Rock that I grew up loving, The Rock that I grew up watching, just entertaining, literally electrifying. Like, I remember the entrance that they had for him at WrestleMania 40. Oh my God. Like, I don't know who was in charge when they had like all the electricity and like the thing would like slowly zoom, and it would like slowly build up, and then the fire around the bull. Come on, son. Like, whoever was doing that, Lord. If he wasn't already solidified as one of the GOATs of wrestling, as one of, the people on Mount Rushmore, I felt like this did it. Because at age, how old is Rock? Like 52 or 3 or 4? It doesn't matter how old he is. But at what he did at this age, and he put on a good match in a night one, like people was kind of questioning, like, yo, is The Rock even going to be able to hang? Because he hasn't wrestled in like a freaking decade or something. He put on I thought he put on a great match during night one. He still looks like he's in shape and stuff. I thought he did a great job at, wrestling, and, it's still feeling like, they weren't trying to carry The Rock. The Rock was doing his freaking thing at age 50 plus. So I thought he did a great job. He was entertaining. He was fully engaged into this junk. Like all of the Instagram posts that he think about how many people was checking out his promos just on Instagram. That's how much people was into what The Rock was doing, and he would just let loose on freaking Instagram. Like, if you thought that he was cursing on like the show on Instagram, he ain't have no freaking filter. And I felt like this was The Rock really kind of, I wouldn't say right in the wrong, but the run he had before this one, when it was him and John Cena, I personally, even though I still watched it and I was still a fan of The Rock and, you know, Cena, even at that point, there was something about that run of The Rock that I didn't like, because it just felt like The Rock wasn't able to be 100% The Rock. He felt watered down. And I'm like, man, if they gonna do this, I don't even want to see The Rock no more. I just didn't like that run personally. I felt like as much as we enjoyed this run, The Rock enjoyed this run just as much, if not more. Because The Rock still loves wrestling. Like, it's clear he still loves being a part of this world and stuff like that. So the only thing that I did not like about this thing was the night 2, when it was bloodline rules, because Rock and Roman won on night 1. I didn't really like the whole, because you know, when you gonna have this whole build up to, oh, it's gonna be bloodline rules. I mean, we all know what that is. That means freaking Solo and Jimmy are gonna interfere in the matches like they always freaking do. So I didn't think that the whole bloodline rules match was like anything really special, because that's what they do anyway. like even if it's not bloodline rules, I felt like they should have had like something else on top of that. I felt like Rock should have played a much bigger role in night 2, especially because he was killing it. He killed it on night 1. He was like the freaking star of this story this time around. I felt like Rock should have played a much bigger role than he did in night 2. A much big, he should have been at least sitting like ringside or something, just like smiling at Cody, just like threatening him, like, you know, The Rock is going to interfere. Like, at some point, I felt like Rock should have been way more involved on night 2. And then, you know, freaking Undertaker. Well, before that, John Cena came out, and that was a good moment, because, you know, it was The Rock and John Cena some years before. It was nice seeing that. But then with and again, I love the Undertaker. He is one of my top 10 wrestlers, easy, of all time. But, you know, I didn't really. A lot of people was asking for a Stone Cold, because, you know, because he's like really The Rock's like main rival throughout their careers. I really didn't want Stone Cold or Taker or Cena to be honest, because they didn't fit what was going on in this storyline. This was about the bloodline. This was about Roman. Rock is Roman's cousin, so it made sense. I didn't want them to just throw in Taker and throw in Stone Cold to take even more, you know, eyes off of the two main characters, which is Cody and Roman. Like, I didn't want them to do that, but it still did make for a great moment. A lot of people was talking about that moment. So that would probably be the only thing that I would personally change from this run that I kind of didn't like. It was mostly the stuff that happened on night 2. And just some things that I would have tweaked and did a little bit differently. But overall, man, I wanted to do a vid on this, but I never did a one before. But after, you know, the whole thing ended, and now The Rock is kind of back doing movies or or whatever, and Roman left a meat like this freaking sucker can at least show up on SmackDown or something, and, like, you know, freaking acknowledge that he lost or something. Like, as soon as this sucker lost, this sucker went straight to Hollywood. This man went straight to Hollywood and doing a movie now or whatever. Like, I don't know, bro, but yeah, what did you guys feel about The Rock's recent run of the final boss character, and, you know, the whole build up of this, and his, you know, role in the whole story with Cody and Roman Reigns and stuff like that? What did you guys feel about it? Do you feel like this was one of The Rock's best versions of The Rock during his career in wrestling? Did you like this? Do you feel like, you know, they could have, you know, did some of things different to make it even that much better? Leave y'all thoughts and comments down in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. And yeah, I also want to do a vid on Cody Rhodes soon, because as I predicted, yo, suckers, I've been seeing a lot of people say that Cody has been a lame champion so far. Granted, this sucker, he ain't even been the champion for what, like a month yet? But I've already heard and seen multiple vids of people complaining on freaking Twitter. Yo, Cody's lame. I want him to be champion.
So, what do you guys want to talk about?
Don't get me started. Don't get me started. I'll make this video right here another 20+ minutes, but we'll hit on that topic later. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Catch y'all on my next one. All right.